What up, America? It's your boy Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Thunder. So I want to talk about this something interesting real quick. So the founder of Papa John's, John Schnatter, basically calls himself stepping down after apologizing for using the racial slur, which would be the N-word. Now, I know what you guys may think, and me being a black person talking about this subject, there are some out there who may think I'm going to be playing victim status, but if you think that I'm going to be playing victim status in this situation, you're pretty much going to be dead wrong. You're pretty much going to be disappointed at it. And why do I say this? Well, in the case of, let me say this right here. First off, I haven't been to Papa John's I haven't had Papa John's pizza in like years, to be honest with you. And if anything, their pizza doesn't really taste all that great, in my opinion, coming from my personal experience. But regarding about Papa John's, basically, he was I know there was a time where Papa John's was saying that the protests at the NFL were hurting sales of his company, of all of its franchises. The stepping down, the kneeling down of the national anthem and whatnot. Things of that nature. But I just want to say this right here. I know there are some black people out there that are obviously triggered by this, saying that, what, they would think that, well, since this fool called himself, saying the N-word on a conference call, the quote basically said, the quote basically was talking about that Colonel Sanders called blacks N-words. Now, I will say this. The company as a whole has been struggling, in the case of sales in recent history. Not just because of the NFL protests, but even though the NFL protests play a big role in it. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, I will also say this. Like, I'm going to call out the double standards here. Mark my words, people. You see, okay, John Schnatter, the founder of Papa John's, basically, he's going to get tons of backlash, in regarding of, his company's going to, obviously, unfortunately, might go down the drain because of that supposed racial slur that he had stated in a conference call, talking about Colonel Sanders called blacks N-words. Now, but you know what I find funny? You know what I find, you know why I'm here to call out the double standard? Because here's the thing. I'm, you know, I, being a black person, am not offended by people of other ethnicities, you know, who would say the N word, you know, and why is that? Because me being a black person, if I can listen to all this rap music that say N word this and N word that, and I think it's cool, if I could, you know, call a fellow black person that I know very well the N word, and whether it be Nigga or something. I mean, no, I mean, supposedly whether it be Nigga, which is commonly known in the black community. If I could say that to a fellow black person, and I think that is cool, this is where I need to say that where the N word needs to be put to rest, because because the way I see it, how is it that I said this in a video not too long ago? Like, why is it that black people like myself think it's okay to call other black people the N word, and they think they fly by with it? But if it was any other, if it was a white person or any other ethnicity calling a black person the N word, we'd be the first to threaten them with physical violence. I mean, explain that to me, America. I mean, because I know the pro-blacks are obviously going to comment on this, saying that I'm quote unquote standing up to the quote unquote racist white people and whatnot. But clearly, I'm the one that's calling out the double standards here. Hell, you got freaking Kendrick Lamar, pulling this white girl, who happens to be a fan of his, off the stage, at a concert, because the song Mad City contained the N word, and she was singing it, and the part that had the N word, Kendrick Lamar basically had the unmitigated gall to tell the girl to stop. That's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sick of and tired of the double standards that I've been seeing in recent history. Okay, it's let me say it like this. I'm not a fan. I understand that stuff like this would obviously be would cause a bunch of repercussions, but there need to be a bunch of repercussions in the black community. You see, this is like an isolated incident. Black folks like myself, I don't do it, but this right here, this Papa John's incident of him saying the N word in the conference call. This is just an isolated incident and this is a perfect example where we are literally crying wolf over real racism. Okay. Straight up, man. I'm just sick of the double standards. What are your thoughts? What are your comments on this? I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. Please share this video. Make it go viral. I'm signing the fuck off. Holla.